The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro, bringing you the biggest headlines from around the world. The U.S. House of Representatives has ousted Kevin McCarthy as their speaker. McCarthy's downfall comes as infighting among Republicans in the U.S. Capitol worsened days after narrowly averted a government shutdown. The 216 to 210 vote marked the first time in U.S. history that the House removed its leader. Far-right Florida Representative Matt Gaetz led the ouster after accusing the party leader of not doing enough to cut federal spending.
Chaos is Speaker McCarthy. Chaos is somebody who we cannot trust with their word. The one thing that the White House, House Democrats, and many of us on the conservative side of the Republican caucus would argue is that the thing we have in common, Kevin McCarthy said something to all of us at one point or another that he didn't really mean and never intended to live up to.
Over in Canada, the House of Commons elected its first black speaker named Greg Fergus. Fergus's election was triggered by the resignation of Anthony Rota, who stepped down from the post last week. Rota invited a Ukrainian man who fought for a Nazi unit to parliament and praised him, prompting condemnations. His successor, 54-year-old Fergus, is a Quebec Liberal lawmaker. After his colleagues elected him as Speaker through a secret ballot, he promised to lead with respect, reminding his fellow lawmakers that Canadians are watching their every move. India tells Canada that it must repatriate more than 40 diplomats by October 10. This was first reported by Britain's Financial Times as the diplomatic dispute between the two countries deepens. This stems from Canadian suspicion that India had a role in the June murder of a Sikh separatist leader who India had labeled a terrorist. India dismissed the allegation as absurd and eventually suspended new visas for Canadians. The Canadian government said it is in contact with India and that Ottawa wants private talks to resolve the diplomatic dispute. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now World. I'm Diego Castro. A gunman killed 3 people in a shooting incident at a mall in Thailand. Thai authorities also reported that others were wounded in the shooting, and among them was a foreign national. Bangkok police have arrested a 14-year-old in connection with the incident. The suspected gunman is now being questioned. The incident comes as Thailand's new government seeks to stimulate its economy by boosting tourist arrivals. Over in Italy, more than 20 people died after a bus carrying tourists crashed near Venice. The bus veered off the road and fell close to railway lines in the district of Mestre, which is connected to Venice by a bridge. The coach had been carrying 40 passengers, 21 of whom had died and 18 were injured. 5 of the victims were Ukrainians and 1 was German, while other passengers are from France and Croatia. Authorities are still investigating what caused the bus to crash. 3 scientists were jointly awarded a 2023 Nobel Prize in Physics for using pulses of light to study electrons' behavior. The prize-awarding body said scientists Pierre Agustini, Ferenc Krauss, and Anne Lhuillier gave humanity new tools for exploring the movement of electrons inside atoms and molecules. Changes in electrons were found to occur in a few tenths of an attosecond. An attosecond is a unit so short that there are as many attoseconds in 1 second as there have been seconds since the birth of the universe.
This was certainly not an individual achievement. It was the achievement of many comrades in arms who went the way together with me, first in Vienna, then later here in Garching. Even when things didn't look so good and there were no longer lean periods. So to all these colleagues, friends, and cooperation partners, I would like to say a very, very big thank you.
And those are the top world headlines of the hour. Join us again at 9:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News. All sides, all the time.